Hey everyone, it's Bree and I'm back today with a new video. This one is called Waterfall Retreat. I'm starting off looking for some kind of water feature. I wanted to make it look like an infinity pool, kind of like a pool flowing off into like the river, so I'm trying to see which one looks the best, and then I choose the one where it has it doesn't have a bottom, so it looks like it's actually flowing into a river and it's not on a frame. I got this idea from a picture I saw on Pinterest, and then I just built a modern building to go along with it. I wanted to do 3 stories. I don't usually do 3 stories, so I wanted to try that out, and it's actually a lot harder to work with because I did not furnish the bottom level, the main floor, because there was just way too much space and I didn't really want to use that space for anything. I was kind of wanting to use it as just kind of like a rock formation. You know how like some houses have like foundations? I wanted it to look like that, but I also wanted it to be high enough for the water feature to actually be on the foundation part and connect to the deck on the top. I put this house in, I'm pretty sure it's in Granite Falls, or if it's not in Granite Falls, it was in no, I'm pretty sure it's in, no, it's not in Granite Falls. It was in one of the ones that had a really nice forest. I was in Granite Falls and then I moved it because there was too much trees. So this one I think is just closer to, it had a better backdrop for what I wanted to do. I do eventually put a lot of trees and landscaping. I cut some of it out, but I did leave some in just because it's way too repetitive to keep in. It just kind of gets boring to watch. Even I don't want to watch that kind of stuff. For this build, I didn't want to put like fences or railings or half walls on the deck because I wanted the overflow to look like it was real from the waterfall effect. So in order for that to look real, you kind of couldn't really put a fence, and even if it did, it kind of just ruined the effect that I was going for. So there's the tiny little fences, but they don't really do much. If you were a real person in real life, it'd be kind of scary to walk past it and worry about falling off, you know. Probably not one of the houses I would like to stay in, but I had fun building it. It was a lot of fun. It's kind of hard to build modern because you just get a whole bunch of squares and rectangles, and I really wanted to try not making it look like a box. So I tried to add a few extra rectangles onto it to make it look a little bit less boxy, because you can see in the back like it's literally just flat. So I added some more stuff, and then I actually ended up making that another deck, and then I made also a little balcony on the top there, which I'll be expanding, right there. And it just to give it a little bit more shape and dimension, kind of not making it look so aesthetic. Like aesthetically, it doesn't look that pleasing when it's just straight like that. So I had to do something to make it look better. I was trying out some windows. I really wanted to do the black windows, and I put them in pretty soon. But yeah, if you want to, you can use the first floor and add whatever you need into it. It's totally open for you to do whatever you want. But for my vision, it didn't work for me to put anything in there or add anything extra. I just used it as a place to put the staircase up into the first floor. normally if I was to build this in Sims 3, I would have been able to move the terrain around and be able to put a garage down there, which there is a garage door, but because the garage door is where the swimming pool is going to be, it's kind of impractical, and you can't really use it anyways because Sims don't drive in Sims 4. So, but in The Sims 3, I would have been able to move the terrain around and make it actually look and be usable in the space. I kind of miss that about Sims 3, is that you could actually drive around. Your Sims could use cars, they could use garages. It was just like, I don't know, you kind of had like that open map to explore, and it was a lot more fun than what Sims 4 kind of, you just walk off the lot. And it's, I don't know, Sims 3 I think was more realistic compared to Sims 4, and there's just a few qualities that I was missing in this game. But because Sims 4 is the only one who's getting new expansion packs and stuff, I still continue to play it. If they were to make a Sims 5, I would definitely ask them to put terrain tools, because I don't think they're going to put it into The Sims 4. It's already been out for like 2 years, I think, so I think it's a pretty done deal that it's not coming in this Sims. And at the rate that they're making expansion packs, we get like a new one every month. Expansion packs and stuff packs, there's just so many still on the rise, and they're already working on another one, so I don't think Sims 5 is going to be coming anytime soon. It's when they start running out of ideas that they'll start working on another game, which is probably got a good year or two left for this one, maybe even 3 years, because if you look back on the span in between each game system is at least 5 years. So thinking about that, I'm kind of excited for new games. That's why I started branching out to some other simulation games and city building games and all that stuff, because The Sims can get pretty repetitive, and it takes a lot more time to build, do a whole building, furnish the whole building, edit the video, voice over the video, and all that fun stuff. It takes a lot more time to do that than it does to record an episode of a city building. Literally, it takes however long that you're playing that city building game, and however long it takes you to make a thumbnail in Photoshop, which is literally not even 5 minutes. So it's a lot easier to get content out when you're doing series rather than these kind of builds, which I actually am trying to get into. So if you keep posted, I will have another video of Banished out in this week for sure, because today is Wednesday, and this video will be going up hopefully tonight if it works out in my favor. It takes a lot of time for my processor to render the video into an MP4 file, and then also I have to upload it on YouTube, which also takes an hour to 2 hours to upload. I'm not sure if that's my computer or if it's my internet or something. I'm pretty sure it might actually be my computer, because my computer is kind of old. It's getting old and it's been used a lot, so I'm thinking about switching over to a new gaming system pretty soon. Maybe I'm starting to save up for it, so the gaming ones are a lot more expensive than some of the other ones, and I find it really hard to save up for that stuff. But I recently did a no spending month for January, and it's now January 31st, and I have not spent any extra stuff. Okay, I bought chocolate once, but that doesn't count. A girl needs her chocolate sometimes. But basically what I did is obviously I bought like groceries and necessities and all that stuff, but I didn't buy like clothes or anything that was not necessary to survive. A lot of the time I noticed that a lot of my money goes to like extra groceries. Sometimes I'll go to the store and literally buy junk food, like literally just junk food, and just binge eat bad food. Or I'll buy like a whole bunch of clothes or makeup or crap I don't need. So I tried for this month not to buy anything that I didn't need and it wasn't a necessity, to see how much I could save and how much I actually spend on that stuff per month. And I actually saved a lot of money. Like, it was surprising how much I actually spent on stuff. Like, I really didn't think I was that bad because I don't actually go out shopping a lot. I mean, I'll go out shopping every once in a while, but maybe like 3 times a month. But a lot of my stuff is online shopping. I'm really bad for seeing something I like and just buying it and not thinking. Like, I do have conscious thought of my budget, but it's more to the fact, well, I have money, I can spend it, not I'm trying to save. So I wanted to save, and I ended up saving a lot more than I thought I would. So I might start saving up faster for the computer that I want. I also need to buy a new mic because this one sucks. This one was it was like $70, but I'm thinking I want to get one that is a little bit better. This one I kind of have to lean down or put it on a stand or something to get it higher. To me, I also need to buy a face cam, so because my computer does not have one, so I have to get like a new setup. But hopefully all within the year I'll get a lot of the stuff that I need. But other than that, I was pretty good right now with the no spending. I would advise anyone to try it for a month. It seems hard, but it really wasn't. You still buy the groceries that you need. You still pay rent or mortgage or any of those kind of bills, your phone bills and your TV bills and all that stuff. But it was kind of enlightening, I will say, to try that out. So I would definitely recommend it and see how much you can save. It's actually like a good process. I don't know where I read it, but I just kind of had the idea. I think it's on Pinterest. There's some videos where it says try a no spend month or like a saving month, where they put like $1 every day into their bank account. And for me, that's not really, I don't feel like that's smart because if you put $1 into your savings every day, you're getting charged for moving your stuff around in your account, for one. Two, it just seems like you could put $100 away in savings instead of putting $1 every day. It just doesn't make sense to me. I get the idea, but I think it would just be better at the end of the month or the beginning of the month to just put that money aside right away instead of doing it every day, because you can't remember stuff like that every day in the first place. It's hard enough for me to remember to put my laundry away or remember that it needs to be switched into the dryer. It's hard enough for me to remember that stuff. You think I'm going to remember to put $1 in my savings account every day? No, not happening. But I was actually trying to get a nice enough backsplash. I really liked the ones that came with the Parenthood pack, but they weren't looking quite nice for this build. So I did go with a theme of turquoise, white, a little bit of black, and that tiki birchy wood color. I was kind of enjoying the kind of beach colors, which you'll see when I do the dining room. I was having a big conflict of if I should do beach colors or not, because I just did a kind of beachy build 2 episodes ago, so I was like, maybe I shouldn't repeat myself so much. So I think the next Sims build sim speed build that I do, it will not be in blues, because I've noticed I really like blues, apparently. I think it's just that the blues, we have really nice color swatches in blue for The Sims 4. Some of the color swatches are not the nicest. So like a lot of, if you were say to do like reds and pinks or something, they're not like the same in tone, and so you have to kind of like choose either or. You can't have best of both worlds kind of thing. Whereas with the blues, you can kind of mix and match them to how you want, and they kind of like go together. Just my opinion though. I started out with the bathroom, which is weird for me. I usually start out with the kitchen. The kitchen is usually my go-to, and I usually love to start with the kitchens because it kind of sets the tone for how the house is going to go. But instead I started with the bathroom, and I started with the backsplash of that bathroom was kind of the inspiration of the colors in the build I was going to do. So I knew I wanted a lot of light colors, and that's why there is a lot of white in the house, and there's like whitey gray floors and white walls. I don't think I changed the color in any rooms. I really was feeling the white. And usually I'm not a person who likes having white around the whole house. Like, usually like paint colors, and I usually furnish every single room with wallpaper or something in The Sims. But this build, I decided white, plain white wallpaper would be fine. Here I did a cutscene to I did a tree swing build. That one took me hours to do, so I will not bore you with it, but it's literally just a shelf with some sticks on top of it that I found in the debug category, and I had to cut a lot of it out because you would have been so bored watching me do that for I had to find, I used about 10 different things before it actually looked right, so I did cut it out, but obviously it doesn't work in real life. I really wish we had hammocks and tree swings, or at least just like the swinging chair at least, or something in The Sims 4. I hope that comes in an expansion pack soon. I'm really excited every time we get new stuff packs, just to see the new stuff, and not just normal stuff like couches, but like actual new stuff that you can interact with. The laundry day stuff was pretty intense. That stuff was fun because you get new interactions and stuff. But I'm really looking forward to the so-called rumor about the adventure pack coming soon. Right now it's just kind of like a rumor going around that might be coming out, but I really, really, really hope, I'm crossing my fingers that it's true, because the adventure pack would be so much fun. I've really been looking forward to seeing if they're gonna put an island pack with the hotels that they did in, was it Sims 2 or Sims 3? They did the island kind of thing with all the hotels you could have, and you could run it, and it was like the best pack ever. That was the best game. I used to play that for hours when I was younger, and so I'm really hoping they introduce something along those lines in an upcoming pack. Here I was really having trouble furnishing the outside deck when I realized I had very little space in between the pillars and the roof and the swimming pool. There was just not enough space. But don't worry, I did go back and I made my sim run through the whole house basically to make sure she was able to use everything there with the move it cheat, the move objects cheat, just because I know a lot of the time I will go back and something won't work because for some reason it just didn't work out for me and I had to move a whole bunch of stuff or something like that. sometimes I try to squish things really tightly together, and sometimes your Sims can't get in there. So I do test things out, and I made sure that you can get past the pillars into the barbecue area, which I will be making right now. There you go. Yeah, so you can definitely get through to there. I did test where the couches are. I put a coffee table and I tested that as well, which I cut out because nobody wants to see me test all that stuff. It just takes forever. But I had a lot of fun with this build. It may not be one of my best builds, but it was definitely a fun one. I say it may not be one of my best just because I don't like leaving things unfinished, and I feel like with having the whole main part unfinished, like the whole main part isn't being used. It's kind of like an ignored space. I'm not even recognizing that it's there, kind of thing. It just feels unfinished to me, and because of that, I don't think that's kind of like my best build. But like I said, it could definitely be used, and I probably will when I play in it. But for now, there wasn't any point in furnishing and making all these extra rooms for nothing, because every time I do, the build ends up being like 20 hours long, and then I have to cut it all out, and that is not fun for me, at least. I know it's not fun to watch like 2-hour builds, so another reason why I didn't furnish that whole space. You also got 2 pools in this build. So there's one in the front and one on the back, and I also replicated the waterfall effect that's in the front onto the back, which I did cut out. But you will definitely see in the screenshots that it's there. The door is kind of hidden. I don't know if you saw it, but it's kind of hidden under by the second waterfall, where the garage is. It's kind of hidden there, and it's kind of like the same color as the stones. I didn't want it to be like obscure the view of what I was going for by putting a door, because I really wanted it to look like the foundation was kind of like that, and you had to go through like the garage to get upstairs. And like I said, if in The Sims 3 we could have done that, I would have. But the pool is in the way, so that was unfortunate designing on my part, but I didn't really know where else to put what I wanted to do, so I just left it like that. Sometimes you just have ideas and they don't work out how you wanted them to. Here I'm just overlapping the couches to make one big L couch, and it just didn't seem big enough, so I had to add the third one there. And this is like the second living room, so there's like the one with the TV, and then this one's kind of like the conversation area with the fireplace. I kind of just really like having 2 living rooms. I don't know why, I just think they look, I don't know, you have one person watching TV in one, and then one person can go in the other one and not bother the other person, you know? But I was really digging the colors with the turquoise, and that rug in the dining room really reminds me of like a beachy theme, and so I was really excited trying to get all the colors to match up. There was a lot of fun while keeping it modern as well. So we did work on this a lot, and I got all of the modern features in. I kind of wanted to leave it a little bit not too cluttered, but not also like minimalistic where there's actually like nothing in the build. These paintings you see right here, I got them off the gallery. I can't remember what the girl's name was who had them, but I thought they looked really good with the build, so I just threw them in there. I wish I could remember her name, but if you go in my favorites on my gallery ID, you'll see them. They're actually like really detailed for paintings, and I think what she did is she screenshotted some pictures and put them onto a painting banner. I don't know how people actually make those. I wish I did, because I would make my own. There's quite a few actually. If you look up paintings on the gallery, you'll find quite a few nice ones, and I really enjoyed searching through those, which I actually had to cut out of this build because I spent about 2 hours looking at some of the gallery content with pictures and just getting ideas. Sometimes when you have like a brain fart, you don't know what to do in a room like this one. I had a big brain fart and I just did everything in white, and then I was like, I don't know if I like this. So I went on the gallery and I looked around, but it wasn't actually that bad. I think just in my head there was so much whiteness that I was like, ugh, I don't know if I can stand it. But I actually started putting some color in, and then it started looking a little bit better, and then I was like, okay, I like this is not bad. And sometimes you just run out of ideas, especially for modern builds, because when you think modern, you also think minimalistic, but that sometimes isn't the case. And so I put in more stuff. I tried to get in some animal stuff as well. I didn't put any dog bowls or cat bowls or any stuff like that because I just couldn't find the space for it that would look pretty. You know what, if you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to ruin the build if you weren't gonna put animals in it. So I just left it, and you can buy it afterwards if you need it, but there is gonna be a little doggy or cat bed in the bedroom. This is the master. Well, it's kind of like all the bedrooms are not really that big, but this is one of the bigger ones. So I did enjoy making this one and figuring out new ideas. This one actually I came back to another day. Like, I made it one night. I wasn't having any creative juices flowing, so I came back the next day and I looked at it and I was like, okay, we can put some color in here. It doesn't always have to be white. So we put these light blue chairs in there, and we got a nice little side table with some books, and then we went on into the ensuite. And this one I also I had furnished the previous day, but I didn't like it, so then I just deleted the whole thing and restarted over, and the finished product was much better than what I thought it was going to be. It was just kind of like an awkward layout, and unfortunately the shower stall doors have to be like a certain way. You can't put it anywhere you want, which really bugs me some days because sometimes I want to put it like one way, but I can't because the doors have to be facing a certain way for you to be able to work it, so that's really frustrating. And then we're putting some rugs in. Here I actually had an idea to put shelves. I was originally going to put shelves instead of a painting, but I also ended up putting a painting because it just looked a little bare because I have white walls. I was thinking about putting tiles there, but I couldn't decide which ones to use, so we actually just put a painting, and it looked pretty good. I say so. The lighting in this house is kind of weird. We have a lot of like yellow lights and a lot of fluorescent lights, so it's kind of like different colors coming off, but modern's really hard to kind of keep the lightings all the same in the houses, unfortunately. But I did use the 9 tool and move stuff up onto the shelves and up onto the sink, just because I think the sink looks a little bare without the soap and the toothbrushes and like flowers and stuff, but I didn't have enough room to put counters in there. So then we're moving on to the teen bedroom. I think it came out a little bit more feminine than I thought it was going to be, but this could definitely be for a male if you change a few of the colors. But I did envision that an artist would be living in this bedroom, and so I did make it very artsy. I don't know why I chose that, but I knew right away that I wanted to have an artist in this space. Usually I design characters or families for my builds before I build them, and I envision kind of what their personalities are, and I cater that to their bedrooms. But I recently stopped doing that, and I started using the same sim to test every build, because making a new family every time I do a build kind of got a lot of hard. It kind of got like way too excessive. I didn't have enough time, or like I'd have so many different saves, and it's just too hard to do it like that. So this is going to be a children's gender neutral bedroom. Could be a boy or girl, it doesn't really matter. I kind of left it blank, but I will be leaving the build here, and I'll thank you guys for watching, and subscribe to me and like my videos if you enjoyed this build. Stick around for the screenshots. Bye guys!